Combustion.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Been running the game with my team making plays. Talking 80, my G's, 100 jewels in this place. Surrounded by dogs, keep the quarterback safe. I'm the one with the plans, they gon' do what I say. The game is not over, we don't celebrate. In the end zone, we don't got no time in the wait. H-Town run down, we don't premeditate. We just go and get to it, we got them on skates. If the game going to overtime, kicking the overdrive, we gon' be first to the finish line. Play looking full, but I finish mine, can I get second? We gon' line up like it's dinner time. We put in work till we get us a ring. Super Bowl season, we running the scene. H-Town the home of the realest that breathe. Keep your face down when you talk to the king.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the H-Town Rundown. This is your boy AD, and I got my co-host in the building. We got Clay, and we got Auntie Swan. How's everybody doing on this wonderful Friday evening?
No
Doing
complaints.
wonderful. How was y'all's week?
Uh, it could be better. It could be a lot better, just like the Houston Texans offense. It could be a lot better. Right now, we are talking about this episode got a lot of components to it, but we're gonna talk about a few things. But we gotta talk about. I feel you, Alfredo. I feel you. We gotta stay positive. We gotta
speak
stay
it.
positive.
Whoa, that's very positive.
Hey, look. Let me tell you this.
I
Yeah,
still got me
look.
in the number 6.
And then here we go. Here we go.
Ratio.
Jules. Yeah.
Oh, there go Jules.
Oh, Jules. Jules know how to make your lemonade sour, don't he?
In not a good way.
Uh, but right now we gotta stay positive.
He didn't even get started yet. He just
Yeah,
brought him off
hey, you should have came on. You firing off like that.
Yeah.
out the gate.
But the Houston Texans took another L, man, on Sunday. We went through it on all 22 about the plays, the misses, our missed opportunities. The game was given to us. And that's where we'll start right there because we'll get on this Titans bandwagon, what they call them a slump buster. Shout out to you in the building as well. Yeah, we talk about the slump buster game, but I want to hear y'all thoughts about the Jaguars loss in Jacksonville. First time since 2017, I think we lost
Yep.
Jacksonville. But go ahead, Clay.
Oh my goodness. So we were talking about toilet bowls before the stream. That's what this was. It was a heaping pile of whatever you want to call it. Both teams were bad. Like objectively, no team deserved to win. Jacksonville really tried to cough it up 4 or 5 different ways, and the Texans just didn't want it. And it's one of those things where what can go wrong will go wrong. I told AD this. I feel like I've had exposure to nonstop suck since the Astros All-Star break to now. I haven't been able to escape this cycle of suck. And now Jacksonville was a must-win game. Make no mistake, it was. It's just bad. It is really – it just doesn't make sense. You make some growth from last week, right? Or you made some growth from week 1 to week 2. You scored 19. Now you regress, right? And I think going into the 4th, you scored a grand total of 3 points, right? I write, but I currently lack the words for what I saw. And the fact that yet again, it came down to, I don't even blame Nico for the fumble, whatever, but the fact that it just came down to just looking like a college defense could guard you, could strap you up right now. It's an embarrassment. Like it really is. It's an unmitigated disaster. And I'm not hopping off the ship and saying that, but it's just like look, I'll just say this. It's no guarantee you beat Tennessee. It's not. Based off what we saw Sunday, it's no guarantee. And I'm
Swan.
Okay. Yes. That was supposed to be the slump buster. That was my guarantee win I thought we would have because I'm thinking, obviously, you play well. CJ plays well there. Technically, the Jags have only won twice out of the was it 6, 8, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 6, 7 times, 6 previous times we met. So I'm like, okay, I expect for it to be a little kind of like what the game was to an extent, but I did thought they would have more explosive moments because I was expecting a redo that. One of the rookies was go have a breakout game, or Christian Kirk was go get his, revenge
Get back.
game.
Hmm.
So I went in with that mindset. Um, what disappointed me with the offense was we had what we needed to win the game. Well, all three games we did, but in particular, you did use Woody Marks more. Um,
Hmm.
and I wasn't able to join this past Tuesday's all 22. I did get a chance to do all 22. Um,
Hmm.
and rewatch the game without the emotion involved. So you saw certain things were positive. You're going like, hey, God, why you didn't just keep running? I mean,
Yeah. So, Swan, they average what,
four
four
point
point
six,
six yards?
right?
Yeah,
Hold on.
4.6
But
yards
his
a
thing is,
carry
he never
with
had
15
a
carries.
negative play.
Yeah,
Marks never had one.
yeah.
Every time he
I
touched the
don't think
ball,
any running back did except for that swing pass.
right? But I'm saying
They
is
do
he
the yeah.
didn't have a negative play in that. Now we shot ourselves in the foot, at times,
Mhm.
but I'm still frustrated with the wide receiver. Uh, Not the wide receivers, but why do I have wide receivers in the same area? And why is that the routes look like they are kind of long developing? I mean, so I got all frustrated again because
Mhm.
one, I have had to listen to them Jaguars. I've had to
Yeah.
listen to, especially them.
Mhm.
You swore they won the Super Bowl. I didn't realize we
It
was
is their
a
Super
lot of
Bowl.
them their Super
Yeah.
Bowl.
It is.
So it's frustrating because you can fix it based on personnel, but I don't know when do y'all snap out of it. I thought that touchdown, that broken play, I don't care what nobody say, because nobody got no problem when it's a broken play against us celebrating.
Mhm.
I just knew
Mhm.
in CJ's reaction that he had, I'm like, okay, here we go. And then we wasn't.
Yeah.
And his thing is, I am disappointed with Nico with the fumble
Yeah.
because of what happened with Diary. It's you're having a mental lapse
Mhm.
at the wrong
Worst
time.
possible time. Worst possible time.
So that's why I do blame him. It were other things that caused us to lose that game,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
that
That didn't
was
help.
a momentum changer. Um, Tay
Swan,
Ursay, I
we were
thought he had his moments, but you're playing against Josh Allen. Okay, you knew anybody else would have had a tight end over there to help Chip. You ain't got a tight end that can help Chip.
Mhm.
Because the guy you would have used would have been Stover. And so I'm frustrated with that. When are you going to bitch Schultz and try something else? And I'm that's just me. I have confidence we will win Sunday. I
Yeah.
call it delusional or whatever the case may be. It becomes personal when we play them. Even when we were sorry and
We
we
still
had
beat 'em.
different quarterback, before we drafted. I won't say his name because I don't want anybody to get mad. Um, we went up there, beat them when we didn't have anything because it's a source of pride. So if they can't get up for the pride that you're gonna be 0-4 and give
Season is
Amy
right the season
Stunk
off.
Adams
No, no, that's
or
up.
Adam
Yeah.
Stunk, whatever her name is, Stank I
That's up.
call her. If you're not, if you're gonna put Hannah and them in that situation where you give them bragging rights and you give them their first win, I don't know when you actually, could turn it around. I have us 1-4
Yeah.
because I got miss me. I have us losing the following week.
Yeah.
Because we ain't won up there yet till we show we can do it.
Yeah, we
I'm
gotta
gonna give
get
it to
there.
them right now, but that group up there, they could be 1-3 because they ain't got one
Yeah.
win. If they lose against Chiefs, they're in the same boat as us.
They can be one and we all could be 1-3 going into that game. I'm
Exactly.
I'm gonna
So I
say
just need you to get one win because that way you can mentally. tell yourselves, hey, what happened on previous 3 games is what it is. We figured it out and we're going to continue to figure it out. I
Mm.
just don't want inside the locker room to shatter. And I know we'll get into it later on. Other
Yeah.
Mhm.
things that could have could have affected the locker room, but
Mhm.
I just like the difference in this team versus our teams in the past, where
Yeah.
a loss to the Jags like this would have just derailed us. You would have
Right.
seen the finger pointing. So
Mhm.
Yeah. And I mean,
they're
the one.
mentally tough. So
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I'm disappointed in the loss, but to me, they're fine.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this because we've lost all 3 games, a total, grand total of 13 combined points. Um. So it's not the end of the world.
Mhm.
Um. You got to look at it in a positive sense that we're top 5 in points given up.
Hmm.
Meaning the defense has done their job. They've only
Except for
given up.
third downs.
Yeah,
They got to clean that up,
they
and they
got
got
to
to wrap
clean it
up.
up. Yeah, they got to clean it up, and of course, wrapping up. We ain't talking about Henry Toa 39 going back to Noah Noah. Um, but it's just the point of right now. Defense is only giving up 51 points in 3 games, which is top 5 in the league,
Hmm.
Mhm.
and you can literally pinpoint 3 plays, a play each game that could potentially say if
We're three
this
and zero.
doesn't happen,
We're 3-0.
we're 3-0.
Yeah.
The Dario Gumbawale fumble against the Rams at the
Mhm.
17-yard line.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
The missed tackle by Jalen Petrie and the missed sack by Jalen Petrie and Henry Noah Noah
Mhm.
against the Bucks.
Yeah.
You
Mhm.
know
Fourth and 10.
that 4th and 10 that you
Uh,
make that play and you sack them, game over. You 1-1
Mhm.
going into this. Nico Collins,
Mhm.
because we were driving the ball, eating the clock. We
Yep.
were going to make the Jags use their timeouts. And we score a touchdown, take the lead, field goal there. The
A field
defense,
goal takes us the lead.
right? I know. I'm getting. I was getting. I was about to say either one. You make a touchdown or a field goal, you take the lead. Now you put a Jags offense who struggled the whole game to
Mhm.
move the ball. You put them in a position where they have to try to drive the field at least to make a miracle 50, 60-yard kick, which they had previously missed, drive before, to go in and at least tie the game to take it to overtime. So you're
Mhm.
those 3 specific plays away. I understand, Jules, winning is winning, but we're talking about from a fan's perspective, like you have to take solace. And I know D'Amico Ryans got on with Mark Vandermeer and John Harris, and he was like, I don't want that mindset. D'Amico Ryans specifically said, I don't want that mindset. Oh, we only gave up 2 touchdowns, or we only did this and this. No, no, no. We
I don't
still
want to give
lost.
up anything.
Yeah, I don't want to give up anything. We still lost the game. So the best proponent of us winning is if we don't allow them to score. So if we don't allow them to score, we have a greater chance of winning the game if we giving up 51 points over 30 over 3 games. So I understand that point. But fans, I think the we have to calm down because I could see if we were losing, you
Blowing
know,
out.
if we were getting embarrassed. If we were
Yeah,
getting
we like
embarrassed,
30-0.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, then that's a difference. But again, when D'Amico Ryans and you hear that we're close, there's some solace to it, and there's some legitimacy to it because you're literally 3 plays away from being the exact 180 of what your record is right now and being 3-0.
and he specifically pointed out if we make tackle here,
Yeah,
if you don't, turn the ball over here,
yeah,
um, we're
yeah.
winning. Now, his thing difference is we would be still frustrated that the offense would be anemic because it
Mhm.
is. But what we'll be saying is, in spite of how the offense is anemic, we're finding a way to win. And that's what quote unquote championship caliber teams do. Because
Right.
just to give an example of last year, do we remember how the Chiefs were winning last
Oh, they
year?
were winning by
They were
sure.
so lucky. We was getting
Look,
folks was
yeah.
getting frustrated. Oh, somebody got a blocked field goal, or they missed a
Hmm.
field goal, or you converted and it was the goofiest ways they were winning those games. But folks praised them and said, "Hey, they finding a way to win because all that matters was in the win column.
Mm-hmm.
Get to the playoffs
And
and you
and Twan, they were
reset."
winning game. They were winning games 17-13,
Uh
Mhm.
huh.
10-7. They were winning games
Ugly.
last year,
Ugly.
ugly
Ugly.
like that. So
And
you know,
last year the Eagles started off a little slow,
mm-hmm,
but they picked it up. And that's what I'm saying. The difference is you want the wins while you're still trying to figure it
figure it
out.
out.
So that
Yeah,
way after the bye, when you get mid season, you're rolling. You
yeah,
don't want to have be desperate. And what makes it worse is because of the way the Colts have started off.
mm-hmm,
So now it's kind of like you're chasing, and that's not what we thought we were going to be coming into the season. We felt we was going to be the hunted once again
mm-hmm.
versus us hunting. I personally feel like at some point Danny Dimes is going to be Danny Dimes because there was no expectation, and that team was already a nice team.
Hey, so
But huh?
Alfredo said it best. The Colts about to hit that 12 o'clock.
Right, and I'm saying
You
it's
remember
going
the
to
movie
happen.
If anybody has a child, remember the movie Cinderella.
Hmm.
What happened at 12 o'clock when that clock hit 12?
Hey, turn
Everything
back into a
everything
pumpkin and
turned back
all the other
into a
stuff.
pumpkin. So
Right.
we just waiting on that. It's just a matter of
But we
time.
got to make sure we're his thing is you can't afford it because somebody was asking me, okay, now Swan, are you in panic mode? Because you said you wasn't panic last. I say no. I say I am alarmed. I'm concerned. I said because no, the first two losses I didn't like, shouldn't. I mean, I thought I'd be 1-1. I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
I said, but they were outside the conference, so it had no bearing on how, head to
Mm-hmm.
heads and all that when it came to playoffs. We played our first division rival and we lost.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And your other division rival is leading and undefeated. So it puts pressure. I say to lose Sunday would
Mm-hmm.
alarm me because that means you lost two and within your division.
Yeah.
So that is, but not well. Oh my gosh, if they don't win, oh my god, no. And I keep telling people, I say you do know that team that they tell me about the odds. I say, but we were that team that did it in
Yeah.
2018, and they say,
Yeah.
yeah, but that's different. I say, no, but if you're gonna put the odds out, we're not saying we could be like that another organization that did it. We're
Mm-hmm.
saying we are the organization that has done it.
Right.
And I said we did 0-2 with D'Amico and the rookie.
Yeah, we did on two
So
already.
if
So
we could do it with them and we had less talent,
mm-hmm.
I don't see why we cannot. Again, I don't get the vibe from the guys that they have talked to in the locker room that they
Yeah,
doubt
the season over.
themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
So to me, as long as y'all are not finger pointing,
I
we'll
don't
be
think yeah.
fine.
I don't think anybody is, and I want to move on to the transactions
Yes.
that have happened.
Mm-mm.
But of course, the big one that everybody is known and been talking about that shocked everybody that had a lot of people in their feelings, and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people had a lot of commentary behind it. The move was the release of C.J. Gardner Johnson. I think it was what Monday? Was it Monday?
Uh-uh. They
Or
did on
Tuesday?
Tuesday, them
Tuesday.
transaction
Yeah.
dates.
So on Tuesday they released C.J. Gardner Johnson. Um, who was so player. Um, and regardless, I understand there were a lot of exposés and he did this in the locker room. He was doing this behind the scenes. He was doing this. It was a lot of reporters saying, "I've been knowing something. I've been hearing things, but nobody ever said anything about it."
Yeah.
And you kept quiet and you waited till it happens to, go whatever. At the end of the day, this isn't the first time this has happened with the Texans. This has happened seemingly every year of D'Amico Ryans, where they cut bait
Uh-huh.
early
Mhm.
or
Yep.
cut bait as soon as the player gets here. If it ain't working, we move on.
If
Um,
you're bitching, sorry. If you are, his thing is, I don't think that D'Amico has an issue with players speaking up or how they think they should use because I hate that picture that's being painted that, oh, he out there. because he's a champion, which he is.
Hmm.
Talented, yes, he is. But what you get away with or what you do in another locker room doesn't mean necessarily it can be done in another. That's the whole thing about free agency.
Right.
Just because
And
you have the talent doesn't mean it fits the culture. Well, folks say, well, we need something different. Da 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 da. If it's true, you were pocket watching, you out of pocket.
so
Because your thing is, something had to happen that made them say, you know what, we'll go with MJ Stewart. We'll go get
and
Childress. And I'm doing this. I told him I'm not doing this after the buy when you could have did it in 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
let that 10 days pass and bam, you cut bait after game 3. So something was being said or done over and over. The same way we'll get to that conversation in a few about how you approach D'Amico. And if
Mhm.
you push a button with him and he done told you something, he's gonna react a certain way. So I'm still gonna trust him because he's never shown me that he is one that's out of control. He's not emotional like Bill O'Brien, you know.
Mhm.
So whatever it wasn't working in the locker room, and you could see already, okay, this is gonna fester into something,
Yeah.
and let's just move on and just say, you know what, we tried something, it didn't work, it doesn't look good, but I can live with that. And his thing is, I know when he was with New Orleans and when they shipped him off, what they said about him. When he was on the team, when he left the team, when he went to Philadelphia, when he left Philadelphia and went to the Lions, and then he came back. So we know who he is. We made the jokes and everything when we traded for him. We had another crash out to the locker room.
So I I'm gonna say this because I don't want to dig too deep about what happened or what could have been the cause of it. It's just the fact of I'm gonna put it like this. Yes, CJ Gardner Johnson is a very talented player. He is a very, very emotional player, on and off the field. And not emotional in that kind of way, emotional in that gritty, crazy kind of way. Um, my whole point is that just watching the film the first 3 weeks, it wasn't a lot of negatives with CJ Gardner Johnson. Yeah, he gave up a play here and there, which is normal, but it wasn't the he wasn't as impactful as you would have expected. But I'm kind of like in the middle with it. Like I could go either way, but I'm not going to be upset about the transaction. Clayton, I want to get your thoughts on it too. Um, but I mean, at this point, it is what it is. I feel like they have faith in guys that are coming back off of IR, which is in Jalen Reed. I feel like they also have faith in Jimmy Ward, who is kind of the opposite of what CJ Gardner Johnson was. And then if you don't remember, way back when I made my videos and I talked about it, this secondary, CJ Gardner Johnson was always the cherry on top.
Hmm.
He wasn't the ice cream. He wasn't the chocolate syrup. He wasn't even the whipped cream. He was always the cherry on top. Your foundation is Derek Stingley, Kamari Lassiter, Kalen Bullock. Um, even if you want to say Jalen Petrie is he's I got a lot to say about Jalen Petrie, but um, those are your foundational pieces in your secondary, and CJ Gardner Johnson was just a cherry on top.
Right.
But what are your thoughts, Clay?
I just think this is one of those, like, a lot of people are hunting for an agenda or a narrative right now. Um, I even saw somebody on X talking about how, oh, the Texans got fleeced. Casario, you traded no lineman and some, and you cut the dude and the Eagles fleeced you. How? Right? Like how we got CJ was like, and to your point, AD, like we already had a set defense. Like we didn't need CJ Gardner Johnson. You traded an old lineman who was a bust by every metric, and you were gonna get rid of him anyway. So you took a flyer on the guy. That's what it was. It wasn't like a deep need. You even drafted at the position, so whatever. And he got cut. You know, it kind of happened with Deontay Johnson last year. They brought him in, even though he needed receiving help. And again,
You needed help at that point.
that's what I'm
Yep.
saying.
We were, and you still cut a guy.
That's
So
it. You needed more help, arguably then than you do now. Cut. So I think what it does show you is that for those who question whether or not D'Amico holds anybody accountable, I mean that goes to show like, hey, listen, it don't take long, right? We may not, we may think it's a bit uneven right now. We may be questioning like Jewel just kind of said it, like we may be questioning certain other individuals who are able to stay on the team, right?
mhm,
But I mean, again, you're talking about a guy in CJ who, again, talented player, but he had no skin in this game. He just got here, right? You just
mhm,
showed up, as they say in business, as they say in hiring and firing, right? Last guy in, first guy out. So,
mhm,
not to be callous, but okay, it kind of is what it is. Look, and this is saying this after watching some film on CJ and seeing like he was kind of freelancing a bit and he was kind of looking like blowing some things here and there. Not to put the whole thing on him, but it's not like he was like Justin Simmons or Kyle Hamilton out there. It's not like
mhm,
we're losing that kind of guy. So again, I just think it's magnified because they're 0-3. If they
Mhm.
were 3-0, I think, oh wow, it flips and it says, oh wow, well, he must have really been a problem. And again, teams do this all the time. This is not new practice. It happens all the time. So, you know, look, all the best for CJ. I do. I
yeah,
don't look forward to the inevitable, as Swan says, the crashing out, him saying this or saying that. You hope it doesn't get like that, but
yeah.
you got to.
I don't think the Texans did anything to him. And historically, the Texans don't move in that manner where they just do players wrong. They typically do the too much for the players
Yeah.
for media and fans liking,
Yep.
like when you trade, players to hometown teams or like, I remember back in the day we traded what's his name? Mark Ingram, who was productive with us, but we traded him to New Orleans because he wanted to go back to New Orleans.
Right.
We traded players back home wherever, like even the John Mechie and Kenyon Green trades to Philly, those were in the players' interest.
Yeah.
We giving you a chance to play. Kenyon Green, we're giving you a chance to play, to regain your momentum, whatever, because it's not happening here in Houston. John Mechie, you're not, it's a numbers game. We're giving you an opportunity in Philly to play. Like they do this frequently, and you sit up here and you wondering like what the hell is going on? Why are you making these trades? Why are you making these moves? Why are you cutting, releasing, trading players? I mean, it had, like you said, Clayton, it happens all the time. I know to fans' issue is that you cut a caliber of player, CJ Gardner Johnson, to Jules' point, but you don't cut a
Name.
Dare. It's a
Yeah.
name more than anything, but you don't cut a Dare or Damian Pierce,
Mm-hmm.
who are negatives to this team at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I had a joke because I saw the game last night, and Arizona has a Dario Gumbawale on their team who damn near won the game for him. Well, he tied the game or took the lead.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, he tied the game for him. Demarcar, how you say his last name?
DeMarco, something like that.
Yeah,
DeMarco, something
something
like that.
like that. He's
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
third down running back, and
Mm-hmm.
their best blocking running back,
Mhm.
and all he does is catch passes out the backfield and do those little small things. I mean, it's similar to what the Texans were implementing with Dario Gumbawale.
Mm-hmm.
That guy just don't fumble, or he doesn't make the negative play.
Right.
But it's just the point of I understand the frustration amongst fans, but what if this is the turning point? What
Mm-hmm.
if
Mhm.
the Texans go on a 6 or 7 game win streak after this? Are we still complaining about why did we cut CJ Gardner Johnson? Go ahead.
I was just gonna add for anybody who is struggling with trusting, whether or not we lost some gems. Kenyon Green cut by the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
John Mechie, love the guy, special teamer in Philadelphia. He's returning kicks, so I'm sorry, but sometimes we just have to get better with just trust the guys who see these dudes every day, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
more often than not, you'll have the one out of every 10 who goes off and has a Saquon Barkley year, but that's an anomaly. Most of the time, dudes get released and it's for a reason. Like, even Bill O'Brien, to his credit, to kind of really deep cut this, he cut some dudes, and because it's BOB, we question it. But if you look at the track record afterwards, it's like, oh yeah, he had a point. Yeah, he wasn't.
Some people don't care. They want, like Jules saying, he still would be upset even if we go on a win streak, he'll be upset about the CJ Gardner Johnson thing. But what if you come in and Jalen Reed is a foundational piece?
Yeah,
Because in training camp, Jalen Reed was looking spectacular.
yeah.
He was all over the place, going out. We were there when he was making
Yeah.
those
To
plays, and
me, it's like I want to see my guys I drafted
Yeah.
succeed more than the free
Mhm.
agents. Free agents are supposed to be
Supplementary.
exactly. You're supposed to be able to take me over the top because my foundation is solid and to good to great, and you're a piece that's added.
Yeah.
You're a rotational thing because it's like, okay, you may only be here a year, 2 years. I mean, look at the other teams that have won the Super Bowl, the two teams
Mhm.
in particular. They turn their roster over. They fans don't freak out because they win, but
Hmm.
you can't keep everybody. And his thing is, CJ wasn't even a free agent. He didn't choose us. He got
Mhm.
traded, and he
That's
was
true.
very honest.
True.
Anybody paid attention, because I did, when they told him they were gonna trade him, he thought it was about the money, and he was willing to try to work it out. But he said, if you're gonna still do it, send me somewhere where I can win.
Mhm.
And when they said Houston, he was like, oh, okay, because at that time we were considered, to be that up and coming. So
Mhm.
when he knew, oh, D'Amico defense, that defense, oh, in his mind, what he thought his role would be isn't what D'Amico does. And then you're trying to tell somebody freelance. That's not going to work in this defense because you don't have certain personnel you can't do that with. Okay, just that simple. So I felt like you traded for him, you took a swing, you didn't lose anything because, like you said, Clayton, you would have just flat out cut Kenyon Green.
Mhm.
Instead,
Mhm.
you traded, got a piece that you thought would help strengthen strength. And hey, but that wasn't the case. This is not what he wants for his career. This man just came off winning a Super Bowl, and he's just very vocal about it. Like I said, I don't know what all was said or done, but it was enough for them to say, let's cut bait and let's move forward.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I'm okay with that kind of decision. Don't let it linger and let it come into something that it shouldn't be. Now, what y'all should be asking or concerned about is Joe Mixon. Do y'all want to know about that? Because I do.
Look. I'm gonna say this one. I talked about it on the All 22 because a lot of people had questions, and I talked. Jules had a issue about the Joe Mixon thing as well. I'm not blaming the Texans on or putting the Texans. Shout out Al Dickey. I'm not blaming the Texans on anything when it comes to Joe Mixon. Um, and when I say that is because Joe Mixon chose to get an experimental surgery, and nobody. Whenever you have an experimental surgery, it to me it's always going one or two ways: either extremely successful with a great rehab, or it's the opposite, where
Mm-hmm.
it's detrimental or damn near career ending, and nobody knows. So I don't put anything at fault on the Houston Texans because the Houston Texans advised him against this, and he went and chose to do that anyway. And so the recovery time is whatever it is going to be with Joe Mixon, but at this point, I can't think about Joe Mixon.
It's the fact, bro. It's the dead silence for me. That the
Yeah,
fact that you haven't heard anything,
because they don't know, because
right?
they didn't. their medical team had no dealings with this experimental surgery, so they can't sit up here and all they can do is give their best efforts and say, "Well, this is what it could possibly be," but they don't know because one, they weren't in the planning phase with the surgery. This is something new. This is something that he chose to do, and you gotta. All you can do is say, "Hey, we can do is put him on injury reserve and hope for the best. Put him on pup. Hopefully, he'll be back in 4 weeks. If not, keep him on pup. When you're on public, you ain't gotta talk about it." So,
Yeah.
because especially when you don't have the answer, so I would rather them not say anything than
Mhm.
go out and give us false hope or give us some BS and say, "Oh yeah, we expect Joe back by week 8 or whatever, whatever."
No,
And then it's week
like Ash.
13. I mean, we had issues with the whole Christian Harris situation last year.
Hmm.
Mhm. Mhm.
So you learn from that, and you know what? I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna let it be. It's and let it play out. And Texan fans, I think we've all come to the conclusion like the Joe Mixon situation is what it is, and I don't think any of us are going to expect to see Joe Mixon anytime soon. But I do want to touch on the other transactions because it is important. What's the guy's name? What's his first name? Childress. What's his first name?
Zion.
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 Zion Childress, hometown kid
Yep.
from New Caney, right? Is it New Caney?
Yep. New Caney. Yep. Four
New Caney.
three five speed. Four
Yeah,
three six.
fast,
Something like that. Yeah.
instinctual guy. Thank you, Yvonne, and thank you, Swan. Um, yeah, I kind of am intrigued about him. I know that some Dallas fans were kind of
Upset.
Mhm.
upset about it because they felt like they were gonna be able to kind of stash him on
Mhm.
practice squad and ride out, but he is in that nickel role, in that Petrie role, whatever. He's a guy that can kind of thrive in that because he is a downhill guy. He is very physical. He's athletic as hell. He's a guy that can really be a young piece to this team going forward. I like then the fact that they, just outright signed him, giving him an opportunity shows that they have a lot of faith in him.
Mhm.
Also them putting Jacob Johnson on injury reserve. Jacob Johnson has been horrible.
Hmm.
People love the signing. Oh, we gotta have a
Hmm.
fullback. He needs to make the roster. Whoopty whoopty whoop. Jacob Johnson, watching the all 22 the first 3 weeks, Jacob Johnson has been horrible. He's been predictable in the run game. He is not as great a blocker as everybody wants to proclaim or say.
But
He has,
he had one good moment, and that was the block punt, because that was him that did it. So he had his one moment. No, I'm saying one shining moment.
yeah, look, Swan. I'm gonna
One
say
shining
this.
moment. He had that
That
one
that
shining
one
moment.
that one shining moment, that's wonderful. But I've seen too many times that
Oh
he's
no, I agree
called.
with you. I'm saying is,
Yeah,
if it
yeah, yeah,
wasn't for the punt, I mean that block punt, I
yeah,
wouldn't know
yeah. Look,
who
all
in
I
the
can
hell
say,
he was, because I ain't seen anything he did other than know, and that was
right,
special teams to be technically one on the offense.
right.
But that goes back to where you can kind of question certain decisions on
Mm-hmm.
when you made up
Roster
the
construction,
53.
yeah,
Because I'm still Team Mitchie. Uh, because that is the one that bothers me the most. Because it's like I kept saying, remember Clayton? I said if I have to keep anybody,
Mhm.
I would rather keep Mechie. Obviously, Kirk was gonna be here, and you choose between Barrios and Justin Houston. I had an issue with two injury-prone guys, but they made it all the way through camp. 53 man, and you get hurt on a Wednesday. Both of y'all with hammies, and I'm like,
mhm,
but it is what it is. Justin Watson, what are you doing with him? Nothing.
yeah. Um,
Barrios, you didn't even he ain't even played yet.
healthy scratch,
Oh my
healthy scratch.
god.
Um,
So it's
Oh.
that type of thing. So when I look at the what you
Mm.
say, Jacob, whatever his name is,
yeah, yeah.
it's those that add up.
Nico.
So I can see where fans can be upset because it's not one particular thing, it's the small things that add up. So you go like Jacob,
Mm-hmm.
you go with Barrios, you go with Justin Watson, and then you add in the Gardner Johnson thing. So that while losing,
Pew, 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 pew.
Hey, he
that's what
was
she
going
no
off.
no hold up. But
Look,
the thing is these the
that's what
same
you
type of
get.
guys that other teams do the same thing. The problem is we at times do have success. We've had success with it because let's face it, what did we do with Derek Barnett?
Hmm.
Um
Yeah.
Tim Settle, you know.
Yeah,
So we have guys. Foley is disappointing this year, but he wasn't last year. So we've
right.
had guys that we've brought in off the street, and you could say cheap or not, which that's what other teams do. You bring in cheap labor, and you hope those guys can make some kind of contribution. We just seen this year, not that many is working out right now.
Well, I
Uh,
mean, that's what happens, when you buying Tam Ford instead of Tom Ford. That's what you get. And Jules is going off in the comments about the Cowboys having a horrible pass defense. I mean, we're not asking him to come in and be the. We're not asking Childress to
right,
come in and be the savior.
but his thing is he was
We're
a
asking,
positive that they were looking at in their secondary because of
right.
frustration they had with Diggs
Mm-hmm.
and Bland.
Mhm. Yeah,
Right.
they
So
they were.
he made the
So,
53-man
Yeah,
roster
yeah.
originally.
They
So they
they
saw the talent in him.
right. They were trying to find a way to get him in, and the Texans poached him. But again, we're talking about a guy coming off the bench. Like I'm not. We're not asking him to come in and start. And like having a guy on the roster as a bench player, I'm gonna tell you this: I'd rather have him than D'Angelo Ross.
Thank you.
I would rather have him, than some of these other guys. But again, you need it. You need some depth. Like I mean, I'm not uh, taking a chance on a guy who's a undrafted rookie to come in. Yeah, he came from the Cowboys who had a horrible defense, but I'm not about to sit up here and crucify and say he's not going to be a positive. But I mean, he's a 4-3 guy. He's going to be good on special teams. He's
Exactly.
you lost three special team players to
mhm.
injury, so you need guys to come in and be special teams players. And he maybe can come in a pinch. Again, I know Jules Love said about MJ Stewart. I don't expect MJ Stewart but to start this game. I don't expect to see MJ Stewart other than being a backup the rest of the season.
Hmm.
When you bring back a Jimmy Ward and you bring back a Jalen Reed, I don't expect to see MJ Stewart play significant time in the backfield. So I'm not concerned about that. But I will to finish the point off about Jacob Johnson. And Clayton, if you had any additional thoughts about Jacob Johnson, let me know. But um to me, this is and I know Barrett and Terrell and others have said it, as well. This is a blessing in disguise for the Houston Texans offense.
Because you forced to play
Um,
the guys that be
yeah,
drafted.
if it forces you to play a Bridges Brooks, it forces you to not rely on Jacob Johnson as a blocking threat or blocking this when he can't block. It allows you to change the way you run the football. It was almost a given. Anytime you saw Jacob Johnson in the game, you were running the football.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Like that's what it was. Jacob Johnson in the game, oh, they running it.
Hmm.
I mean, it was a telltale sign. Like there's no creativity in it, and sometimes you have to, especially first time play callers, you have to put them in situations to make them more innovative. Um,
Damn,
and
Jules. I
Juice
mean,
is
It's
on
like
team.
you've
okay.
been.
Yeah, Juice
Oh,
on team.
good grief.
But we're trying to be positive
I
about
know,
it.
and I'm like, man, you over here trying to make
Um,
folks sad.
but
Well, listen. I look. I think again. I'm speaking as a very cynical, jaded individual right now. Look. Not to bring it back to Kaylee too soon because we're gonna get there, but
no, we there. We there.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. I'll cook up then. So basically, like, okay. So what bothers me about this is you're right. All these things can be blessings in disguise, and it forces you to do X, Y, or Z and not be so archaic and all these things like that, not be predictable, right?
Mhm.
Why does it take the circumstance to do your job for you if you're Nick Haley, right? That's the full circle moment here where why does it take Jakob Johnson getting hurt? Why does it take all these receivers and guys who weren't good or who had bad attitudes to get cut? And I know that's a defensive thing, but still, like,
Be,
in this pot of stew that we got going on right here, this suck
be,
stew that we got, why did it take all that for you to say, like, Swan said, off stream, to tear it down to the studs and probably play ball like you should have been playing the whole entire time?
Mm-hmm.
That's what bothers me. And I get it.
but
If
you know
you're willing to,
why? But you know why? When you're inexperienced, you don't have anything to refer back to. All you know is what you know right now, and that's anything in life. Think about it as a parent. You're a parent, all, for the most part. Most of us are.
Mhm.
Um, or you have nieces, nephews, or whatever. That first one, you're inexperienced, and you kind of mess up a little bit more, and how you react with that first time parent, uncle, auntie, or whatever you are. When you get that next one, man, you be like, you know what to do with them. When it's a certain sound, or when they do certain things, you react different because you know what? I can go back on what happened with the first one. He has never called plays. We knew it was going to be a curve. Okay. So the concern we had was when he ran into this situation that he's in, how would he respond? And that's the problem is that you're trying to stick with what you thought was going to work. It goes back to the previous OC we have. You don't have anything to fall back on. So you're winging this and telling yourself if you execute, which partially is true, then it will work. But until it works, what am I going to do? How do I change it up until we get into a flow? And that's where I'm frustrated. I'm hoping that I will see something different on Sunday. We did a little bit more this past Sunday because you saw a little bit more Woody Marks. And I have to listen to D'Amico. I can tell the difference when he's telling you certain things, and next thing you know, you see it. So that's my thing is that you shouldn't have to, but sometimes you can give folks too much and they don't know what to do with it.
like, let
We
me.
have too many weapons because we
Mhm,
do. We have too
mhm.
much talent.
Yep.
Now we can say on online we need to be more talented or better at it, but from weapons, we have what we need, but
Hmm.
you don't know how to use it. Cause go to the first game, how in the world you got Nico Collins and the dude only get 5 targets. So that's what I'm saying, stuff like that.
Sure.
Uh,
Real quick, I don't want to interrupt you because you were cooking up. I want to add to your point, but then also like kind of push back a little tiny bit.
okay.
I hear everything you're saying, and I validate like the first timiness of everything, right? Yes, I am a father 3 times over. Yes, okay. So, but here's the thing: to use that same analogy, way back when, right, the good old days, right, when before you had books, before you had YouTube, before you had all these resources that kind of coached you up to be a first-time parent, right,
Mhm.
other parents and stuff like that, you kind of had to wing it because you didn't have these resources. You couldn't reach out and read a book and Google search, like you didn't have all these things,
Right.
right? You kind of had to do that, right? Now,
Mhm.
in the modern age in 2025, that you got every endless balanced resource in
Mhm.
order to at least ease into the experience of being a parent. And I agree. There's nothing like actually doing it, right? So I don't want to sound ignorant, but you have the resources to have a frame of reference, right? Can we
Mhm.
agree? Okay. So if you're Nick Haley, right? I saw Drew's question, why hire first time OC?
And
That
I agree.
I'm gonna table that. That's a D'Amico thing. I'm right here right now.
We
Yep.
gonna get to Domingo too.
Well, we're gonna get there
Yep.
too, right? We got a little bit of everybody. Specific to Nick Haley, right? In 2025, you have all these resources, right? And like you said, Swan, we got all these weapons, and you have an immediate frame of reference also with tape and film and conversations
Mhm.
that showed you, even if you haven't called plays before, you know that 6'4" X receiver named Nico Collins can go deep.
Uh
Why
huh.
is he struggling to get the ball? There are certain things that even as a first timer, there are like two big problems with this. Number one, you have the frame of references, like I just said. Number two, I guess where I'm struggling is
Hey, CZ.
even if you're a first timer, it's not like you're a first timer from a bad team, from college, from somewhere where JUCO ball. You were with the LA Rams, right? Now again,
Right.
fill me in on when he got there, right? I don't want to give him like a Super Bowl ring.
2021, I
No,
think.
he was
Right,
there 2 years.
He
right.
got there
So
right
so
after the Super Bowl. I'm sorry.
okay, so it wasn't, but still, you were able to absorb and sponge in greatness
Mm-hmm.
up close. Even if the Rams had not won Super Bowls, you knew what excellent, at least process looked like, right?
Uh-huh.
Even if they didn't win a Super Bowl, you knew what quality
He was
looked
in
like.
the NFC Championship game last year.
That's what I'm saying. So you were there. So I hear the newness and the nuance. I get all this stuff. But when you come from where you come from, my expectations are not for you to have a bottom three offensive unit when I know where you came from and I knew what you saw up close. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know who you already have and what already worked the season before you got here. I
Yep.
made numerous pieces about this one, and I'm gonna shut up because I don't want to step over nobody. I
And I
made
can
numerous
I can tell you
I
what the
made
problem is.
listen, I
One,
made numerous
he
pieces.
he wa- he wasn't
No, no,
he lied. I'm just gonna put it out there. He lied.
Listen, he
He sold
listen,
us a bill of goods. That it
let,
listen.
wasn't
let,
gonna be
let him
Patriot. It wasn't gonna be
hold
Ram.
on.
Huh?
Let Clay
Hold
finish.
on, I'm about to be done. I'm about to toss over. And again, we talked about this off stream. I'm not making this a Bobby Slowick thing, but I am only for this reason. When even Bobby Slowick, who my hand up in the sky to say I was out on him, right? Even he had no problem featuring rookies to do anything. He
Nope.
made CJ look prolific. He made Tank Dell look prolific. He had Nico cooking up. We can at least give him that kind of credit. When
Uh-huh.
your predecessor, who we kind of had a hand in running out of town directly, indirectly, did all of these things, you can't make a guy who's 30 pounds heavier and with a tenth of a 40 time faster than Tank Dell and Jalen, you can't make him work. You can make these same pieces work. And I get it, new guy, but you have too many references for me to just look past your not even mistakes, gross negligence of what
Mm-hmm.
you have. And what really bothered me, and I'm going to shut up, what irritates me on Sunday is when Liam Cohen drew up basic crossing routes, which is what I was screaming for. Just get the
Yep.
ball out, get up. And you look like you were trying to reinvent the wheel when all you have to do is just line up and play ball. I
Yep.
don't, in this sense, I don't care that you're a first timer because you have too much privilege and know how and resources to look just competent, not excellent, competency. And we said
Mm-hmm.
this last year. Competency would have had us like probably in an AFC championship game, maybe. The
Right.
fact that we can't even do that and against Jacksonville, no less, it's a
Mm-hmm.
problem. That's all I'm saying. I hear you, but it's like I cannot give him that. I
No,
cannot.
my issue is the reason why you can't do it is goes back to what he said. He tore that system down, which means, like I said again, your foundation was that system. It wasn't the Rams because if it was, you would have had more three-step drops. You would have had more quick hitters. The reason why you can't get Nico the ball is that Patriot offense option routes. It's not built up. I mean, it's not that Nico can't do it. That is not what he's been doing the last 2+ seasons with CJ. So you are trying to change the wide receivers and how you use them because when the Patriot offense, remember, yeah, Edelman, Welker, and them were typically the featured guys, but they were your slot, your small guys working the middle of the field and so forth. But the most part, you could never depend on who was going to be quote unquote the star on the Patriots because they never had that type of wide receiver until AB got there for the little bit of time and Randy Moss. Before then, their wide receivers were just okay guys. So he doesn't know how to feature the guy because that's not what that offense is used to doing. So that's
Oh,
the biggest problem
Oh my
is
God.
that you have an
so-
idea of what you think this offense should be
Oh
and
my goodness.
they're not running it and they're struggling and you got two rookies and rookies do struggle. So to me, why are you not adjusting to what your rookies do better and putting the defense on their heels. You got Noel out there that's leading the league in return game.
That's
Young man got
malpractice.
the speed. You're telling me when I didn't have Christian Kirk for 2 weeks, you couldn't find a way to use him? So it's that. It's
No.
you don't know what you need to know, and you kind of like that Bill O'Brien in a way, just not with arrogance, being rude, but it's that mindset. I know what I want to do. I know how this would work.
Everything
You
got
Y'all,
can see that
information.
Patriot arrogance and less of the McVay, innovation.
now I'm gonna say this because everybody's kind of tipping around. I know we're being positive, or at least trying to, but let's be honest. Nick Caley is out walking out there like he don't know what the hell he doing. He ain't got a clue on what the hell he needs to do, on what would work, or how to make it work.
Oh,
Nick Caley is in so many words, you know, operating. I don't even want to go down there, but because I was gonna say something real nasty, but he is operating with with no no possible.
I'm about to say, find it, find
Yeah,
it.
no, like I'm really trying to not say what I want to say because
But then say
yeah,
it,
like
say it, my
he
brother.
he's acting sped right now. Um, and he's incompetent. He is, all the things that we said Bobby was. He's
Say it.
exemplifying it.
Say it.
He they want me to say it. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not. Look, I'm
Right,
in this
Yvonne.
I'm in this light of positivity. I gotta be positive.
Well,
If
and
you
look,
know,
not,
if you
We
know,
can
you
still be
know.
positive and recognize that the
yeah, just
inefficiency or
Yeah, I mean
deficiency.
like I said, the guy don't know what the hell he's doing, and he's just out there just doing shit. He just
If
throwing
he's
stuff
willing to
against the
strip
wall,
down the play
and
calling and get just
it's
do the
not.
basics right now,
Swan,
you can
it's
he
not
can
even
get out of
that.
this mess. His thing is
Swan, all you have to do is go in there and ask.
I'll say,
right,
Like go in there and
like
ask,
like
what
what
are
we
you
don't know.
comfortable with?
We
uh
don't know.
huh.
Like that's what you should have done
That's where
day
ego.
one. And first of all, why do you have an ego when you are a tight ends coach your whole life? You are a position coach. You never been an OC. You never had play calling duties. You never. This is brand new. I understand it having confidence in yourself, but be humble. Be humble
Oh,
and
silent,
recognize that you don't know what the hell you're doing.
silent H. Oh
So
no, I look, and somebody said it. I mean, not to go too much into Miko yet. I mean, we're basically there, but no, and that's exactly why. That's why people are still the percolating conversations about
they,
the percolating conversations about D'Amico Ryan's on the hot seat, that kind of stuff. By extension, I mean, no, I would not say because of this he's on the hot seat. I will say two things, and then I'm gonna bounce it back to you, AD or Swan, whomever.
Okay.
Um, Number one, his seat is not hot. I don't even think it's lukewarm yet. But I will. What I will say is, I don't think D'Amico. I don't know if D'Amico will be allowed to pick his third OC. I will say
he
that.
will not.
Like that's
He
what I'm
will
saying. I
not.
think we're there where we're like. It seems like there's a disconnect between him able to hire a competent and innovative OC. I don't know if that's within the realm of his jurisdiction or capability. So I think that might be something he might have lost that privilege. Um, and then the second thing is this. I think, and at first I said 0-5 get somebody fired. The more I think about it, I've listened to Tennessee radio, I've seen Locked On Titans, I've seen all the, by every
Mhm.
metric, everyone's saying they are objectively a horrid team. Cam Ward is nice, but the team is horrendously bad. If you go 0-4, which is on the table, I know I said 0-5 get you fired. I think to Swan's point, this kind of 0-4 is like a almost like a death nail to where it's like somebody probably got to go, like same day type stuff.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying that to be hyperbolic. I will say on the opposite side, we know over time that Amy Adams Strunk, we got the report that Mike Vrabel, his job was potentially, harmed due to that loss against Case Keenum and the Texans on the road a couple seasons ago. So it works both ways here. If you do all this revamping of your identity, and not only that, the Texans are still low key gaining trust back from the fan base. It's not just a football conversation. You have to have the business conversation.
Right.
You got to have the credibility. you
Thank you.
you got to
I ain't want to say it, man.
the Chris Broussard. But like the Texans are low key trying to gain back confidence from the fan base. We are not that far removed from the Jack Easterby era. We're really not. So with all that being said, it's like if you go 0-4 to this team right here, and not like the Baltimore Ravens, this team right here, who is 0-4 like you are, and you go into Baltimore to get stomped out to go to 0-5, I think somebody gets fired. Now, I'll also say this.
Hey, Juan, you getting
If
close.
if
We'll put an
Miami,
asterisk in there the next time.
right? I'll say this and I'll shut up. The last point about why I think this also is you're looking at Miami
Oh
too.
Lord, he did it.
Yeah. Where do you monetize? If Miami fires Mike McDaniels at any point within the next 2 weeks, I
bring
think
him in as a consultant.
Listen, I think you're already on the phone with his agent right now. Not tampering, but I think you're already putting feelers out to see what he would feel.
I think so too, because their relationship.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You already got that. So if that happens, I think by circumstance also, you got to upgrade. Mike McDaniels fixed Tua Tagovailoa, and I know CJ's better than him.
Did he?
Well, CTE,
hold
on, he fixed him. CTE broke him again.
Listen, what
I don't know if he fixed him. The offense. I mean, his thing is we would have an electric offense, but his thing is because I had this discussion with guys in GIB regarding this. Because they had McDaniels as a suggestion, because somebody said, would y'all consider going to get him as the OC? And I said, would he be on the staff? I could see. Would he be the OC? No. And the reason why I say that is totally different offenses. And to try to ask us to flip that switch, I think he would be brought in to assess, to help Kaylee. But I still think the play calling would still belong to Kaylee. I don't think D'Amico would take it away. He just would put more on McDaniels to help Kaylee, but I don't think he would officially fire him and say, hey, you take over, because all that verbiage, everything you've taught these rookies, I don't think you would mess them up by trying to implement his offense mid-season, because we was looking at it. No team has done that before, period. You change your whole offense with an OC mid-season. And Brady from the Bills, for you use that one, he was already in the building, and he was the quarterback coach. So that's what I'm saying is, would I like to see it? Yes.
I'm gonna say this one because Clayton was alluding to it, but it needs to be said. I know that D'Amico Ryans has a lot of pills, so he has a lot of leeway. But if they lose to the Titans and you start 0-4, it should not shock the fan base. It should not cause a holy war at NRG if the Texans pull the trigger and say, you know what, D'Amico Ryans, we relieving you of your duties. I know people are gonna be upset about it, but D'Amico Ryans, as much as he's done, he has that, but you have to take ownership. You take ownership of everything. He takes ownership. He takes ownership of the players. He takes ownership of who they bring in with Nick Caserio. Like, he takes the.
To me, Caserio would go first.
Oh, look, I'm not Swan. I'm just saying, because I'm of the assumption that Caserio is likely gone at the end of the season, regardless. It's just the whole point of, like, you take all these bullets. You take the bullets for Caserio because Caserio doesn't answer any of those questions, because D'Amico Ryans is up at that podium every week having to answer for Nick Caserio's mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. But you,
Um,
but you
hold
know,
on.
Hannah and them see
I know,
that.
hold on. I know.
Mm-hmm.
Let me land. Then you see D'Amico taking the bullets for these players' mistakes,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
for what they do wrong on a daily basis. Now he's up here taking the bullets for the last 3 years for your offensive coordinator's mistakes, your coach's mistakes. You're taking the bullets for all that. You ain't 50 Cent. You ain't taking all these bullets and living, brother.
I think he does.
At some point, one of these bullets is gonna be life threatening, and you can only take so much before you're forcing the hand. Because if you lose to the Titans, there's a there's a if you don't make changes and you don't do things differently, if you don't make a full 180 on a lot of things that's going on in that organization, you're gonna end up with a top five pick.
I'm about to say
Right.
top 10, but you said top five.
Right. Well, the
You're
reason
gonna
why is
end
that
up with a top,
you
not
got
even.
some teams that are worse, so that's the reason why to me it's in that top five. If you look at where teams are, I guess where for me I'm pushing back where I say it won't be D'Amico. I think the first thing you would start with is Casario because
But who
you,
fires the GM in the middle in the
no,
after
no.
four
Here's
weeks
the
of
reason
the season?
why is that you have to go back and say roster construction decisions you made on players dead cap that we have that's almost 60 million. I think it's at 54 and some change. No, what I'm saying is
Out of
your
one,
decision.
I'm about to get to that point. We can
Hold up.
talk about that too, but
Right. But I'm
we
saying
do
when I'm
need to
looking
get
at it,
into the breakdown of
right.
the
But I'm gonna
game.
right.
Yeah.
But let me land it
Go
here.
ahead, go ahead.
D'Amico has fault in it. They both do. But I think he would get quote unquote the opportunity to select another because I don't believe that D'Amico alone picked Kaylee. I feel a lot of influence of Casario in that because you saw where you had a different O line coach had never coached this type of inside zone scheme, and then you had Bobby Sloyd who came from San Francisco. So it was like, okay, hey, you went and got your guy, and that didn't work. Pop, Kaylee worked together several years. It's that Patriot. I hate to give credit to him, but I will. Doc Payton, when he said he hated the Patriot system, that's what he saw. He didn't care what we told him. He saw it. I didn't. I thought the young man would have a mix of it. So I think because remember, Casera was at the door, and it was D'Amico coming in and changing quote unquote the culture that saved his job. Let's just be honest, and the fact that CJ and Will and all them, took off the way they did. So I don't think the McNairs want to be the one to fire a third black head coach after folks said D'Amico shouldn't want to go there because that
Yeah.
organization they care about image. They do.
So I'm gonna say this one, and because we need to move on to the game breakdown. It's a good topic we need to pick back up.
But I want to before we do the game thing and you can do this, I want to talk about something that was very critical to me and it was at the podium.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. We gonna get to that part. I'm gonna say this, because we can move that up, but I'm gonna say this. If you go and you let Nick Casario go, more than likely he's gone at the end of the year. Let's say you make it through the season and you fire Nick Haley and D'Amico Ryans gets a third OC. If the offense looks as terrible as it is, and you look anemic as a team,
Mm-hmm.
and you end up, let's say you get marginally better. So we're not gonna claim it. But if you have a terrible season this year and you basically 8-9, 9-8 the following year with another OC, everybody's gone.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it is that if you gon' if you clean house, you gotta clean house. Like, and I don't know if you can have a substitute GM for a year and let them, whatever. If you're gonna clean house, you need to clean house all the way.
I have a
and
guy in
and
mind.
it, and then that may be keeping everybody for another year.
This is how
And
if we were to lose it, this is what I think would occur. You fire Casario, uh, and whoever is the assistant GM is who would be operating at that point. But uh, Rand Carthon from the 49ers.
mm, you talking about the one that got
That team
Tennessee in the shape they in right now?
they
No,
fired.
no, no. Hold up. First off, that was him and what's the Vrabel having a difference of opinion, and that goes back to Amy Adams.
Wasn't Rand Carthon the one that traded AJ Brown?
AJ Brown for and got
No, no, no,
Traylon
no,
Burks.
no. That wasn't him. That was
That
what's his
wasn't
name,
him.
Robinson. No,
Okay.
Robinson's the
Oh,
one. That's what got him
okay,
fired.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I feel bad. We putting that on that man.
yeah, trying to throw the black man. Don't do that.
My fault, bro. Let all it just all bled together, but
Right.
continue.
I'm just saying. Uh, you gotta be left on. No, ain't that? No, that wasn't him. But no, I could see because him and um D'Amico have that relationship. And remember, folks was thinking that it would be Adam Peters coming from
San
the
Fran.
49ers because
Yeah.
folks thought that there was no way him and Casario would work because they are just different. So I could see where he would be quote unquote hiring his GM, and you could find a situation where you'd have a Mike McDaniel or some other type of, you know, coordinator that fits into what that has experience,
Hmm.
whether you go to the college ranks or not. Because at this point, you came in to work with Casario, and y'all that first year, it was they talk about it. It was a learning experience for them because how they saw football. So your
Hmm.
decision on how you evaluate it and how you draft it were different. This past year was better. It seemed like it was kind of aligned to what you would do, but you could still say, did y'all really evaluate what should have been the priority? You could question it. Only picks 1 through 5. I'll be honest with you. I'm happy with. I mean, it's just gonna take time. Uh, so I don't have a complaint, but I don't see them bailing on D'Amico because you could barely get folks in your stadium. Okay,
Right,
ticket,
I'm
but
gonna
he but
say
he
this.
but he changed that. So and his other thing is, how will players react
I
to?
mean, you're gonna have it, but my whole point is that
I
you
think
get
you
to a point,
lose the
and
wheels. I think like Will
well,
Anderson. I think you
well,
lose
I'm gonna
that.
say this. I'm gonna say this because it was brought up by Rodney Bryce. I'll bring it back up again. If you can't beat Tennessee,
I
right?
don't have doubts we're gonna win. I know
So
folks
hold
put out
on.
there. I know we
I'm
got
a,
to
I
put it
no no
out
no
there.
no no no. I'm just because we have to
Hmm.
acknowledge there is a chance that we can go out there because we said last week, oh, there's no way we losing to Jacksonville. We got Jacksonville number whoopie whoopie whoop and went out there and laid an egg. It's just the point of if you lose to Tennessee at home, you there. If I hate to be the negative one, but if this team goes 0-17, there's no possible way you can bring D'Amico back. D'Amico, nobody survives an 0-17 season. Nobody. So if you can't beat Tennessee, who's arguably the worst team in the league, and you can't beat them at home, Nick Casario, gone. D'Amico Ryans, gone. Nick
Yep.
Haley, gone. Matt Burke, gone. Anybody else in their scouts in the front office, gone. You have to completely
Mm.
clean house.
Now,
We're
speaking
not,
of
we're not
cleaning
there. I will
cleaning
acknowledge.
house,
I will acknowledge we are not there. We are not there. We're nowhere near there. But if that so happens that you end up and you have one of them seasons like that,
We
there's
hope.
no way in hell. Everybody gone.
yeah,
He
right.
gone. You have no choice. And that's the point I'm at, Swan. If you lose to the Titans, you might as well say you losing to everybody else on your schedule. Because
Hmm.
Arizona's improved. Seattle's improved.
See, I
Buffalo is
pass.
Buffalo. You like
Yeah.
I understand the reservations about Arizona, but they're an improved team from what
Hmm.
they've been. I'm
Hmm.
just saying, I'm not saying they excellent, but they're improved. Doggone Seattle's improved. 49ers are 49ers. Buffalo's Buffalo. Like you still got to play the Colts, who are looking like they're improved this year. That's your schedule. That's the rest of your. You still got the Ravens.
Yep.
So like that is your schedule. If you can't sit up here and you can't beat the Titans, and you might as well say you're not going to be favored. You should not be favored in any game
Any other
the
game
rest
after
of
that?
this season. And if that's the case, and you sit up here and you turn around, and again, I don't. I'm making this clear. I do see the Texans winning this game on Sunday, but if we so happen to lose this game on Sunday, you might as well say we're going to go either 1-16 or 0-17.
I expect a
Because
firing on Monday. I think not D'Amico. I expect somebody to be gone that Monday.
like you
I'm looking
it
at.
it and it has to start because nobody survives this type of season regardless if you had great success. We've seen it time and time and time again in the NFL. You can have great success, but if you have expectations,
Offense. Wide
offense,
receiver is
yeah.
that if you're just not ultra talented and you just, you know, make it happen. Tank was Tank. You didn't develop him. Okay. Nico just needed a quarterback. Diggs was Diggs. I mean, before he got here. Christian Kirk was Christian Kirk minus the injuries. You haven't truly developed any of the guys that we have drafted that were not just talented. Tight ends. You keep swinging at tight ends, but Cade Stover's the only one that was looking like he was breaking out. He just got keep getting injured. That's a whole different thing. But other than that, what do you get from the tight ends? That's supposed to be your quarterback's best friend,
You
and
you
it's like
have
it's his
you
enemy.
you've been I can understand you saying we've been injury riddled because you lost Stover, you lost Brevin Jordan at the beginning of the season, you lost Stover for most
What I'm
probably
saying is, what are the
whenever he
position
comes back.
coaches doing? Uh, Danny Baird, I think that's his name,
Yeah, Danny
Barnett or
Barrett,
whatever his name
running
is.
back coach.
Okay,
Yeah.
running back. If you are not talented already, what are you doing? So I got three position groups on
Mhm.
offense alone that if you change those, your offense might look a little bit better.
Well, I said it before, like, and then this is a Nick Casario issue along with the D'Amico Ryan's issue because Danny Barrett has been here forever.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know how long Jake Moreland has been here, but it feels like he's been here a little bit too. He may have gotten here with D'Amico, but Jake Moreland, your tight ends coach, has been here. Um, what's his name? The wide receivers coach Ben McDaniel's has been
Daniels.
here through
And ain't
three
done
three head
nothing.
coaches, through three
Hmm.
head coaches. So it's just the point of you're not replenishing the staff because it feels like the staff is highly tied to Nick Casario
Uh-huh. That's why I
and
said I think he will
and
first.
right, and so it's a disservice to D'Amico because it again. I'm gonna just be honest. D'Amico Ryans and Nick Casario don't know shit about offense. They don't know about how to develop offensive players. They don't know how to scout offensive players. They don't know how to pick offensive players. CJ Stroud is a layup. CJ Stroud is a layup. That's a slam dunk. That's a LeBron alley oop dunk. That's easy money. You hit a Steph Curry half court shot with Nico Collins.
Hmm.
You know, you was 1 for 30 and hit that one lucky three when you got Tank Dell. And you hit a bank shot you hit that old man bank shot when you got what's his name? Damian Pierce. Like those are your successes on successful players on offense so far. You walked in the building with Laramie Tunsil and Titus Howard. And all you had to do was find three offensive linemen. You couldn't
Hmm.
do that. So yes, Nick Casario is a big problem, and I know we going way over time. We on a rant right now. It's a lot of issues and it's a lot of frustrations because of the way this team is played. and we may just skip the pick 'em and all that stuff. We'll get to that next week. All we need to know is are the Texans gonna win? But it needs to be said that frustration with this team, everybody has to be accountable. Nick
Mhm.
Casario gets a bulk load of it, but so does D'Amico Ryans. So
Mhm.
does D'Amico Ryans. He has to take a lot of blame. And I'm not saying, and let me make this clear as well. I'm not advocating for D'Amico Ryans getting fired. But if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, it's called insanity. And expecting a different result, it's called insanity. You
Mhm.
can't, D'Amico Ryans cannot keep doing the same things over and over, taking the bullets over and over again and expecting a different result.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna say that, and because we can go into the breakdown of the game, and I know Swan, you want to talk before we do that. I know you want to talk about the things that were said that also irritated me, which just epitomizes what this team has gone through and where we are, not only as a team or organization, but how our media approaches the game and how a media approaches the team, which makes us in totality, these first 3 weeks of the season is some loser mentality when it comes to the organization and how they've operated, the media and how they've operated, and in turn, you get the response of the fans in that line of, you know, the line of operation. Go ahead, Swan, because I have my own point when we talk about the interviews that took place this week with D'Amico Ryans, CJ Stroud, Matt Burke, and Nick Caley.
Okay, so I'll start with uh I'll say CJ for last, and that'll lead into what you want to talk about. So
Mhm.
let's go with Nico. We knew they were going to ask the questions regarding what happened of cutting uh Gardner Johnson, because we wanted to know what was going to be. I had an issue with, I feel like, of baiting him or trying to force him to tell you something when he's already answered. He came in directly. He didn't avoid it. He told you decision that he made, I made, because he referenced my team, over and over. He told you, he let him go. It was his decision. Basically, it's just not. It wasn't a good fit. That's the end of it. Nope. You're gonna come back again and still try to make him give you something juicy. His thing is, you don't have to go find drama when you're losing. It could be there. And I feel like with our media, we feed, it's kind of like leeches. We feed off of bloodsuckers. So, them energy vipers that D'Amico talk about,
Mhm,
I can kind of see it. We thrive off of negativity. Now, we are giving them, or the players are giving them that, but it's like they look for it. And I have an issue because it goes back previously with D'Amico when he answered questions and he tells you, I'm done with this question. I've answered this question. And to immediately come back and keep asking it, quote unquote, a different way when I've told you I'm done with this, I find it being weak.
mhm,
You should be focusing on asking, what are you doing to help Nick Caley on the offensive side, and ask for details on how you're helping him,
mhm,
or is anybody else assisting him? Talk about CJ. What is it specifically you're helping CJ with? Not that we talk. Well, yes, we know y'all talk all the time. What are you talking about? That is what I want to know as a fan. You say we sit and we go through it and we talk about, hey, what did you see here and there? Well, can you tell me what was some of the responses that he gave you? Um, then we get to Nick Caley. Great question that was asked. I don't remember who it was. What is it about this, Patriot offense? Why we keep trying to do this? And you could tell immediately he got defensive, and he was about to say something, and then he came back. He said, "Well, no, actually, it's not. Uh, this was torn down from down to, you know, basically the foundation and built back up." A smart journalist, media person would have come back and said, "I'm sorry, you said you tore it down. Speaking of building, if anybody's built a house or anything, I don't care. If you tore it down, it meant the foundation was that. So why did you start with that foundation? What is the foundation of this offense? Y'all, they let him get away with the word salad thing, and then you get
Mhm.
on air or you go to your podcast and you go on Twitter, and then you talk about what he didn't address. You had him right there for the follow-ups, but no, you want to go for the juicy shot that is going to blow up and you get all of these on your pages, versus are you really trying to deep dive into what is going on in this offense? Why does this quarterback look like he is um what boo boo? I had to find the right word. uh why does he look like boo boo? I don't get it. There's no way that the league has figured him out. There's no way this young man has forgot how to play football. Now, we can look and say his decision making makes you think that. And then I will lead with this, the cherry on the top. Folks, I don't care what cap he is wearing. All I care about is I'm 0-3. And to
Mhm.
be as sensitive as we are, he don't love Houston. He ain't repping us. He want to be out of here. Okay, so the foundation, his mom, his sister, everything they do around here for the city, he don't want to be here. Okay, great, wonderful. Uh, he ain't repping. The man has been repping the Astros even this past spring, wearing their apparel when he don't have to. So he told you it's about a fit. I understand that you're sensitive about your Astros. I'm
Definitely.
sensitive about the Astros, but not to the point that I'm upset because he wearing a Yankee, Mariners, whatever. I'm not even looking at the cap he's wearing. I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to hear him tell me what the hell is going on. Not, oh, you know what? You coordinate. For y'all that don't know who that is, the late Jonathan Witherspoon.
Bang, bang,
He
bang,
over there coordinating, okay? I don't care he coordinating over there. I need you to coordinate on the field. So tell me what you need from your OC. What do you need from your head coach to be able to coordinate on the field?
I gotta channel this one. Give me a second. Swan. So CJ Stroud, he ain't ripping the city, Swan. I'm a Astros fan. I love my city. Do or die. Houston all day long. I need my quarterback, even though he from Los Angeles, California. I need him to be Houston down. Day one Houston, cause he my quarterback. I don't care. He hurt my feelings cause he put on a Yankees hat, cause they are rivals, Swan. We rival the Yankees, Swan. We rival the Seattle Mariners because they in our division. And he ain't Houston. He hurt my feelings because I'm an Astros fan. And because CJ wore that hat, the Astros may not make the playoffs, Swan. He ain't down enough for
What?
Houston,
What?
Swan.
How do we
He
get
ain't
here?
he ain't repping my Rockets because CJ wore that Yankees hat. Fred Van Vliet tore his ACL. That's
I'm not
it's
not
all
on I'm not laughing
CJ.
in vain. I'm sorry
It's
about that for
all
y'all.
CJ. It's all CJ fault, Swan.
He a jinx?
He a jinx, Swan. He ain't down. He ain't did nothing for the city like JJ Watt did for the city, Swan. He ain't for the city like JJ Watt. JJ Watt came to the game with a Houston Oilers jersey on, Swan. That's how down he is for Houston. He stole all that $72 million from Houston, but he down for the city. He was down for the city with Harvey because he got up and said something. That's how down I want CJ Stroud to be. You can't be wearing these hats like this, Swan. You can't do that. You repping the Houston Texans. You repping the Houston of the Texans, Swan. So you gotta represent Houston. You gotta wear nothing but Astros, Dynamo, Houston Cougars, Rockets. You can't wear nothing. Hell, you can even wear an Arrows hat.
You can
They
wear
ain't even
Rice,
a team no more.
TSU. You know.
You can't do nothing but wear nothing but Houston. I don't want to see you in nothing. I need to see you in nothing but Rockets jersey. I need you in an Elijah One jersey on this Sunday. I need you in a Clyde Drexler jersey. I need you in a Tracy McGrady jersey. I need you in a Jose Altuve jersey. You can't wear nothing but Houston. CJ Stroud, you gotta rep Houston. That's disrespectful to us fans who live and been here since 1913. We've been living and dying in Houston day one, but we gotta be mad about the Yankees hat. You gotta be repping Houston, CJ. You can't do nothing else but rep Houston. You can't put nothing else on. I don't want to see you in those baggy pants. I don't
Oh my
want to see
God,
you in
yes.
none of that. I don't want to see you in no boots because that ain't Houston. That's New York. I want to see you in nothing but J's and just jerseys and just matching, man. You gotta rep that H-Town blue all day long. See, you can't wear nothing else, CJ. It gotta be red, blue, or white, CJ. You can't wear no black. You can't wear none of that. You ain't repping you. You are not Houston enough, CJ, and that's a problem. That's
And
a
that's why your
problem.
games suck.
That's why you trash not because you sitting there wearing the Yankees hat. Because you sitting here wearing the Seattle Mariners hat. That's why you can't throw touchdowns now. That's why you can't see Nico Collins on the field because you're too busy wearing the New York Yankees hat.
Oh my goodness.
That's what makes me mad. We owe 3 because of you wearing the Yankees hat, CJ. That's the reason, CJ. You the reason.
Oh, I did not see that one coming. Ah,
And I'm out.
All right.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I know basically who you were replicating, but I'm gonna tell you how you sound like Tracy Morgan. And I'm over here. I was trying to see. You know what, Wallace? I hate you. I said I know who, and you just putting it out there. But he sounded like Tracy Morgan doing it, and I was trying to keep a straight face. And I had to turn my head because I just could. But yes, we got to find some real things to be upset with, fans, and what hat he is wearing. Ain't it at the podium after an
Mm-mm.
L?
Mm-mm.
So on this Sunday, if we get the win, if he come up there and he wearing an A's hat or a Dodgers hat, because
Mm-hmm.
y'all know he is LA everything. So will we be upset if we get the win and he wear the hat?
Be petty. Be petty, petty Pendergast. Be petty, petty Rumpkin. Be all of the petties. Be well hell. Nah, I was about to say something else. Y'all go ahead. We can go on to the Titans
Mm-hmm.
game.
Sure.
No. If I was CJ Stroud, I'll wear a Raiders hat. I'll wear everything LA for the rest of the season. You get out of here with all that.
You mess around and come with a Golden State Warriors hat on them.
Yeah, man.
No, no,
Put
no.
that
He doesn't need
on.
a dot. No, no, no. Because remember, we played them, and they're the reason they said we cheated, and that's why they didn't win the World Series. So that's saying that's why I stopped be petty. I
Yeah,
would be all Dodgers up there answering your questions.
yeah. Like, come on, with the Dodger blue. Now,
Yes, it
yeah,
is
I wear
all
that
of
with
it.
that Dodger blue hat. I come in
That
with a. I
jersey.
come in. Look, I come in with a Dodger Jackie Robinson jersey on
Oh
and
yeah,
the Dodger hat. Not what.
yeah.
Now what? But let's go on, man. Let's talk about the game because we already hour and a half in. Let's talk about the matchups. At the end of the day, the Texans got to win the game.
Yeah.
Texans got to win. Tennessee is horrible top to bottom. Cam Ward is not a threat at this moment. They don't have any weapons to really scare you.
No.
Derek Stingley, does he play? Not doesn't really matter. Me personally, I would sit Derek
Yeah.
Stingley this game.
Yep. They'll
Let
save him
him
for the
heal.
Baltimore game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Calvin really is in almost his 10th year
He's
in the
boo boo.
league.
He boo boo right now.
Look, he is in his 10th year in the league, and they have to get him specialized glasses to help
Glasses.
him catch the
No,
football.
they own
That's how bad
fans
he
are
is.
upset with him. It's like, come on, dude.
All
So,
they said all he needed was a quarterback.
yep. Cause they said it was because he was playing with sunshine, which
Mm-hmm.
to some extent,
Yeah.
sunshine can have an effect on you. Cause my boy BTJ got the yips. So I don't know, but Elick, is that how you pronounce his name, from Stanford? That wide receiver, he
Yeah.
is the truly only one. I mean, is good, and that's his only receiver. But that's it. I mean, they're hurting because I think I know who it was. AD, if you were to scroll back up, that indicated
Mhm.
that their defense is supposed to be this. T Sweat is on IR.
Yeah. That was
So it's Jeffrey
Steven that
Simmons
said it.
time. So when they stuffed the run last year, trying to run up the middle between them two big guys, it wasn't gonna work. Well, Woody Marks is a little bit different, and you don't
Yeah.
have the other big guy there. So they're struggling in their defense in the run right now. Something else we didn't talk about, part of that matchup. Ladarius Sneed saying Nico who?
He said who?
And
He didn't say Nico. He just said who?
he said
I'm
who, when
and
they
look,
asked the
Twan, hold on.
question, he said
Twan.
who?
I understand. Look, I understand us as a fan base can use that as ammunition. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Landry Locker. Shout out Landry Locker. But I'm getting on your ass right now. Why the hell you gonna ask Nico Collins that? Like you know Nico, it's been brought to him. Why are you asking him a question and expecting him to say something?
He's not. Like, he ain't gonna let his game speak.
Why ask the question? You know the answer. Stop asking redundant questions.
Yes, he
Go
knew.
ahead.
He heard it.
Go ahead.
But
Yeah,
you
at the
saw,
end of
but
the day,
you
Snead has
saw
been
that
doing
the DB coach tried to hurry up and they
yeah,
said clear that up because
yeah.
he knew, man, why in the hell?
Hey, that boy has been doo doo. Snead has been doo doo.
Since he left. Chief.
Tennessee is where semi good players go to die, and we
Basically,
Mm-hmm.
said that.
basically.
Like
Yeah.
wide receivers, if you're a wide receiver,
Cleveland, you go there, you go die.
you're gonna
Tyler
die for
Lockett
sure.
looks like I mean Tyler Lockett who? That man has
Yeah.
looked good, solid his whole career, even getting older.
Hmm.
And look at him.
I forgot he was even on the team. So
Right.
Remember they said that was gonna
look.
be the help because it was like the one thing you could depend on. He was Mr. Dependable. He
Hmm.
was gonna catch, get down. He was your ultimate possession receiver.
Mhm.
And he goes. The previous year they remember they had Tyler Boyd from the Bengals, who was good with the Bengals, but he went to the Titans and what happened? They let
Hmm.
him go. And that's what I'm saying is I will say with Cam, I expect him to make plays. Only reason why, until D'Amico Ryan shows me that he can handle a dual threat running type quarterback, until you show me you can do that consistently, he can do some damage. So if
Mhm.
they have not tightened up their coverage and taking better angles, better discipline, having a spy, it could be a close game. I still expect that our defense, he will be able to get him in the end simply because he doesn't have the weapons necessary to do the damage that he could do. And I expect Will Anderson and the rest of the boys to get after it.
Yeah.
And I expect the secondary to go back to what they were because all those guys have played together over the last 2 years or more together.
Hmm.
So it's familiarity and communication. You won't, it'll be better. So I
Yeah.
expect them to win offensively. This to me is truly, I'm going to see what Kaylee is because this is where you let Nico go off. You don't
Yeah,
let somebody say who, and you don't say, you know what, I'm gonna give you your opportunity to get your get back, and this also will help our offense.
Mm-hmm.
And if he don't walk away with at least 10 targets, at least that's the minimum I want to see.
yeah.
CJ,
Nico is gonna be on the mindset of I gotta make up for what I messed up anyway.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you
And
said who?
yeah,
So
yeah. I understand that, and I understand that point.
any
I
ball
just
going his way 50-50,
I need them to be effective. Defense is going to win this game regardless because Tennessee's offense is not that functional. Their offensive line, they're missing two starters on the offensive
uh-huh.
line. They have injuries across the board. They're not going into this game. And let's be honest, most fans, media, hell, I'll even say the top of the organization wants Tennessee to lose this game so they can get rid of the coaching staff
Mm-hmm.
in
Yeah,
Tennessee.
yeah.
So, they want to get rid of Callahan. They want to they want a fresh start. Which
We need to
honestly
go
is
pick.
what they
We need
should
to.
have
Hey, by
done.
the way, if they do, we need to go pick up his daddy. One of
Yeah.
y'all need to get in the
Yeah,
car
pick
and
both of them up.
drive up to
Go
Tennessee.
ahead, Swan. Go ahead and bring the Sprinter van up there and pick both of them
Yeah,
up. And
okay.
I'm
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Go get his
So
daddy.
yeah, both the son too. Bring
Yeah.
both of them
Oh, yeah,
down
you
here.
ready to
Bring
start
yeah,
too? Yeah, you can. Cause
yeah.
fine. Yeah.
Um, but going back, because Clayton, I'm gonna let you go with the matchups. What matchups you're interested to see or what you're expecting in this game? And I'm gonna just say it with me, like I said, it's always the trenches.
Mm-hmm.
Ariante Ursary had a hell of a game against Josh Hines Allen. He's not going to have that difficult of a game because they don't have the edges like that in Tennessee. Is he going? He needs to have a very very dominant bounce back game to kind of reset himself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm expecting that we hopefully we see a Juice Scruggs. Um,
Left guard.
just Juice Scruggs. We don't need the back and forth with him and Lakin Tomlinson.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's the trenches, and I'm expecting Will Anderson and the Neil Hunter to just go crazy and sack Cam Ward at least 2 or 3 times this game. But
I
go
got
ahead,
5.
go ahead, Clay.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of 2 and 3, you already said the trenches. I'm gonna go secondary. Swan kind of alluded to it. I think this kind of game after the whole Gardner Johnson cutting has a way of galvanizing guys.
Hmm.
I wouldn't be shocked if Caitlin Bullock got him a couple.
Hmm.
I would not be shocked if our secondary all of a sudden looked like, that
Hmm.
top five unit that we heard so much about. And again, it's not to put it on CJ GJ, but we knew what they were before him,
Hmm.
and I'm kind of hyped to see what they'll be with another year of seasoning after him. So, and you got a rookie QB who seemed like he's prone to turn the ball over because he'll give you a pick or two. You just got to be
Yeah.
ready. So,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, we already talked about Nico. Don't need to do that. Trenches. And you know what? Give me CJ against their corners. I need CJ Stroud to respond.
Yeah.
We've been talking a lot about Nick Haley. I need CJ Stroud, and we saw the report that D'Amico spoke with CJ, and CJ said he needs to play better, which we know that he does. He knows that he does, but it is significant that they're formalizing it by making statements about it. So I need to see CJ. I'm not even going to say like rookie CJ. I need to see gone through adversity CJ bouncing back and basically reminding people, hey, that first year wasn't a fluke, right?
Hmm.
I don't care how bad this game. I don't care how bad Tennessee is. I need to see CJ Stroud look like he's owning the offense, he's owning the moment, he's owning Tennessee, and he's owning his career. I need to see CJ Stroud throw for at least 250, uh, 2 to 4 tutties. I know that's asking for a lot, but I don't care because he is a lot. I don't care anymore. 2 to 4 tutties, at least 250. And I just need to see him take charge. Walk up and down the sideline. I need you to check your teammates. Do the things that we know that you can do.
You
So
want
that's
you want Chargers playoff CJ back
listen.
after the snap, and
You
he made that
yeah.
happen. You want that
You
CJ
got it.
going
You
forward.
got it. You got it. CJ has to get his swag back. He is a and
Rhythm.
I know people don't I don't want to say rhythm because it's not
He's a
just
confidence
rhythm.
guy.
He is a,
Looks like a
and
combination.
I'm not using this in a negative term for everybody listening. He is an emotionally driven player, and I'm not trying to go down that whole route. I'm not saying nothing like that. I'm saying if he gets in the right mindset and the
Mhm.
right like he comes in, like you said, confidence. That's tied to his emotion. Like he gets that confidence going, and he hits those first 3 or 4 passes, and he gets rolling. CJ Stroud is going to be a different player when it's clicking and it's
Mhm.
working. So definitely we got to see that CJ come Sunday, and hopefully
Listen,
everything.
Hey, Blue Boy.
Shout out
How
listen.
you
Blue Boy
doing?
Shine, Blue Boy Shine, in the building. It's been a while, but yeah, glad to see you back. And I agree with Rodney Bryce. He's saying we got to see more Woody Moss. Definitely,
And that would
even
help
even
CJ. And that
though
would help CJ.
even though they did he did basically split carries with Nick Chubb last
Not good
game.
enough. Splitting is not good
Um,
enough. I'm sorry. I'll say it right here now. Nick Chubb would not be my RB1. Not saying he's all the way washed. Woody Marks look like he fits your need most urgently right now. Like
Exactly.
like Devin Singletary did in the year that he
Mm-hmm.
took Davian Pierce's spot.
Yep.
I'm not saying Nick Chubb is
Ain't
washed.
lying.
I'm saying for the circumstance, for right now, we need as much juice as we can get.
Right.
Chubb looks slow. He looks like he needs a lot of help from this O line. Woody looks
Obviously.
like, if nothing else, he can overcome some certain deficiencies
Exactly.
better than Chubb can right now.
Right.
So
I agree.
for circumstance, Woody's my RB1 until
Yes.
further notice.
Yep.
And then again, play call real quick. I need to see either one of these two. I need to see either that Nico Collins Colts play action first play of the game deep shot, or give
Mm-hmm.
me something to Jalen Noel. I need to see something like that. I have not seen it since Tank got hurt. I'm
Yep.
tired of seeing these dudes throw for -2 yards, 3 yards. Like I need to see these things. I do.
yeah.
You got the
Mm-hmm.
talent.
I
Stop
agree.
playing like you're scared of these dudes and throw the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I agree with everything y'all saying. I'm gonna start with Swan because we ain't going down that list. What's your score prediction for this game?
Oh goodness.
Okay.
Toilet bowl.
My heart says
Still got toilet
You
bowl.
still ended up with a
no,
toilet
no.
bowl.
My heart says 31. My heart says 31-13.
Uh-huh.
My heart. My
Mm-hmm.
head says, God damn it, it's gonna be 23-17.
Mm.
Hey,
And Yvonne, real quick, when she say be tight, Tennessee won't be exciting. The hell it won't. I ain't got to win this year. That damn, I'm celebrating that. That's gonna be my Super Bowl. All right, to know that I
Yeah.
made Amy Adams stunk, upset, and that she about
Mm.
to fire her staff because every time we beat her,
that's
she
twice.
fires somebody.
Right.
So yes, it will be exciting.
Mm. Yeah. What
Like,
about you, Clayton?
Oh, I'm scarred, man. I don't want to call a blowout. I don't. I think, and I'm gonna still be disappointed. I think the Texans do begrudgingly win. I think they'll win 17-13. I don't know if they'll
Mm.
crack 20 points still, and I'll still be bothered. But I gotta win it by 4 against a bad Tennessee team, and we'll just go from there. I guess a win's a
we
win.
gonna
I
crack,
guess.
we gonna we gonna crack 20. I'm telling you, 23.
Yeah.
Because
Good.
Hawaiian Punch he got to make up for that missed field goal last week, so he go get 3 field goals, and then we go get us a Woody Marks touchdown, and we go get a CJ to Nico touchdown. That's my 23.
I'm gonna say this right here. We ain't even kicking no field goals. I got them winning 28-10.
Oh my
Rodney is close on my line. He said 30-10.
gosh, OD,
Um,
bro, you Charles Barkley, Eric, bro, you
I
got.
know. I said 28. I didn't say 30. I said
But you
28.
ain't got no field goals,
No
Oh
field
man.
none.
goal. No.
Oh.
Man, I ain't lying. You know that first possession. Hey, anybody y'all listening still? Listen. Let me tell you the truth. That first possession is gonna be a field goal. Just get it out your system, and then they'll click afterwards.
Yeah.
But that first
Hey,
one, it's gonna be a field goal.
I
It's
think
just gonna get over.
24.
Mo Beasley said, "How many points does this offense need to satisfy you?
I think at least 24.
You got to get over 20.
I think at least 24.
You ain't
If
got
you
over
give if
20.
you give me 23, that is more than what you done had the first 3
You ain't
games.
even got 20 this whole season.
And that's what I'm saying is 23. Give
Anything
me.
over 20.
I know. That's saying is 23. You're back to your average from last year.
Hey, like I said,
We
I'm
gotta,
a.
hey, you gotta crawl before we can, walk and run. God darn it. We're
I
0 and
just hate
3.
I just
I
hate the
know
fact
no, you got to get the first one. Because
I
once
hate
you get that first
Go
one and you
ahead.
get the confidence, Clayton, it'll click. Because they'll
What
no,
start to
you got,
believe,
Clayton?
you know what? This is what we were supposed to do.
What you got, Clayton?
I'm just listen, man. Maybe look, and we used to failure, so it's not like I'm just recalling all his greatness, but I remember a time with he who should not be named. We would drop 50 burgers, and it was nice too. I remember that Falcons game when Will Fuller went off. I remember that
The
Titans
Titans
game
game.
when they set the rookie touchdown record, and it was just
Hmm.
disgustingly great. Like I remember
You
just these,
remember Fitz
these
Magic? Fitz
bro.
Magic put 6 on them.
Listen, I
Hmm.
remember JJ catching touchdowns in the end zone. That
Yeah.
was fun, right? Like that was
Okay, and then
fun.
what did we do in the post? But hold up, his thing is, you've seen some flashes in the season, and we got excited. But I will say this: the first two seasons for CJ and this team, the defense, whatever, we have won the division twice and have won both our home games against teams that were supposed to be these top contending type teams on the fringe, and we've won. Whereas the other guys had moments in season, but playoff wise, they
Hold
have
We,
not
we not
looked.
we hey, I'm gonna
on.
say this.
Yeah.
What we don't need to do because we're gonna go down a
No, I'm
whole
saying
rabbit
this.
hole.
What I'm saying
And
is, I am hopeful.
regardless of the facts, one, regardless of the fact, because we going in the past. We don't need to go in the past. Right now, we
Yeah.
need to win a game.
That's what I
Yeah.
say this. I just need
We don't. I
one.
don't care about what Bill O'Brien did. What happened before? What Andre Johnson did to the Titans when he beat up Cortland Finnegan on the 40-yard line in NRG Stadium. I don't want to. I don't care about none of that when it comes to the Titans. I just need us to beat the Titans' ass on Sunday.
That's
Let's
all.
beat the
Oh,
Titans. That's all that matters right now is that we about to be 1-0 going forward, and
Yeah, there we
we're
go.
gonna we gotta be 1-0 with the
I
Yep.
1-0
think the
mindset.
perfect I think the perfect victory is if you shut them out and you drop 30. I think the perfect cleanser for a lot of this, drop 30 plus, shut them out. All right, cool, brand new season. Yeah, you still 1-3, but I think you do something like that. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. We got some.
Man, let me win 23-16. I'm still happy. That's what you're missing. I don't have a W.
Look,
So
I
I
don't
just
want
need
I
the
don't want to
W.
have to leave NRG early because I'm gonna make my way down to NRG. I don't want to have to get up and leave early. I want to sit there and I want to sit and relax. I want to wait till them people get on the field till the ushers
Yeah, when they be talking,
before we
hold on,
leave.
hey, excuse me, hello, hello.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting on that. But all in all, again, Blue Boy Shine. I'm gonna say this point. His point. He said offensive line is the reason for dysfunction. I don't believe. No. We're not gonna let that fly because the offensive line has been not even marginally greatly better than what they've been the past 2 years.
The
They're
number
not
So
two.
where we need them to be, but they are still
yeah,
better.
They're
they
better.
are
Yeah.
better. They are better than what, and that's with the movement all around with Jake Andrews injury and Ed Ingram injury and Cam
Hmm.
Robinson starting and new moving all these moving parts on the offensive line. Offensive line has gotten a lot better. So I'm not going to sit up here and go down that. Um, down that route. I hit me on, I saw. Man, I'm not gonna tell you what, man. No, that, but y'all know I'll be in the stadium. But
You know who I
all
am.
in all, appreciate everybody for joining us on this episode of the H Town Rundown. Appreciate y'all for staying and rocking with us. We will see y'all. Not we, but we will have playback running on Sunday. So y'all be sure that y'all go ahead and sign up for playback and catch us on playback on Sundays and on all 22. So be sure to catch us on that and sign up for playback. H Town Rundown on playback. Again, y'all go ahead and make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to this podcast. Um, it helps us out tremendously. And y'all go ahead and check Clayton's workout at the Crawfish Box, House of Houston, Battle Red blog as well. He has a lot of things going on, a lot of great
Yeah.
articles. So y'all make sure y'all check Clayton out on all his different platforms as well. And y'all check Swan out on Spaces on Gridiron Bullies and all of the F around and all that on Twitter. She come
Now, if
in.
you come to talk about CJ Caps and then his
Yeah,
clothes,
yeah.
no, don't come see me. Don't come see me.
She gonna light you up. But all in all, again, appreciate everybody for joining us. We will see y'all when we see y'all. Peace.
Swarm.